Happy New Year to all you Jag family. We're coming in hot with our first episode of 2021.
Good morning and hello Jag family. We are so excited to be with you again. It's finally time we say goodbye to 2020. This week's episode is about something many of you probably think about all the time. Money for college. Where am I getting it? Scholarships? Where do I find it? How do I apply?
This week, we will be focusing on something that is near and dear to my heart, applying to scholarships for college and higher education. I am also thrilled to announce that this is my first episode as a full-time JAG staff member via the Americorps Visa program. The Americorps Visa program is an opportunity for people like me and you to serve within a nonprofit or an organization like JAG, and through that community service, be able to be compensated and support oneself while doing something for the common good. So if you're interested in learning more about that, even if you don't have everything figured out, just reach out to JAG.
Yes, we are thrilled to have Martine here full time. I want to let you all know, Martine was one of my leads, and he made that experience for me absolutely amazing. So, I'm just feeling so awesome about all of this. And so that alone is what makes this a historic episode. But we also are living through historic times nationwide. As of this filming, I am so happy to announce that we have our first vice president that is a woman. And not only is she a woman, but she is a woman of color. There's so much going on in this world right now that it can be a little overwhelming, but it's important for you to let yourself enjoy these victories. Never in my lifetime would I have thought that I'd be living in the time period where there would be a woman vice president. So now all I need is one of my JAG female students to come on through and be that first president. Yes. And I want to say to my seniors, you are embarking on your last semester of your formal schooling. Congratulations, but it's not over yet. I know you can see the door, you see it opening, you see the crack, and you're ready to go straight through, but you're not there yet. Continue to do your homework, continue to study for those tests, and continue to do well and make this JAG family proud. We know you can, and I know sometimes we get senioritis. I got senioritis. Don't tell my mom, but I did, okay? And so it is a real thing, but I need you to hang on and focus.
Thank you for bringing that up. With that in mind, I think it's time for us to get started. Kobe, why don't you take us through our rain break for this week?
My name is Kobe Guao. Me llamo Kobe Guao, a proud member of the City of Untitled Chapter program, and I will once again be facilitating you all throughout this week's episode's Brain Break. Today is a very special day for you all today, and for that reason, I planned out 3 of my personal breathing exercises to share with you guys today. And first one I'd like to introduce is called Mr. T. Good old Mr. T. To do this, make sure your arms are apart and try and bend out your elbows and fingers just a little bit. Back is straight. Feet pressed to the ground, not too hard, please. And those asking, you may do this standing, but I would simply recommend you do this sitting down because the more comfort, more relaxation. We'll be doing this 3 times. We'll be inhaling to the count of 7, and then we'll be exhaling to the count of 5. Remember to position yourself properly. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now in. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, thank you so much, Colby. Like we said before, this week's big topic is applying to scholarships. And with that in mind, we got a guest speaker lined up that we think you guys will love. First, though, Colby, what does community service mean to you?
I think community service is an event filled with opportunities that can not only help you build character and communication skills, but it can also help whatever community you're working with receive good feedback, and also for yourself as well, which is really helpful if you're looking to get a job after high school. And what about you, Martin?
Oh, wow. I never really thought of community service as something that can propel you to serving like one's professional career or one's professional plans. Again, like the communication skills that you mentioned and character. But I was thinking of community service more as like something that comes from the heart, right? For me, it might be serving my local communities, local programs as like the JAG, now that I'm officially part of the program. But last year, I was just serving and doing these videos, right? To just be a part of it and be able to reach the JAG students. And so just to be able to serve, but I think it can be as much smaller. Taking your neighbors out to play football, just to build that community. So anything along those lines, but again, it's something that you do for the common good for others.
Thank you. And as you all should know, we know as well, we've done a ton of community service hours last year.
Yeah, 20,000. Can you believe that?
It's true. JAG students contributed 20,000 hours of community service this past year, and I find it hard to believe, but I'm seeing it right now. That's why we want you guys to tweet us at #JagServes with what you're doing to serve the community this semester.
It's the reason we know that all of you are future leaders and that all of you have incredible futures ahead of you. Speaking of the future, some of you folks are probably thinking of college right now. We're going to let our guest speakers from Doherty Foundation talk to you a little bit about scholarships.
Doherty Foundation, and it's my pleasure to share some information with you about applying for scholarships for college and just some of my hints and tricks to help get you through the process. So, the most important thing to understand is when and where you should be applying. The advice I always give to new students and current students in college is understand what school you're most likely to attend. If you're a senior in high school right now and you might still be deciding, is it going to be a community college, the university, or you don't know which college, either here in Arizona or somewhere outside of Arizona, that's okay. The important part is that you start applying for scholarships in the earliest time of the year. So January and February is when scholarship season is in high activity. So if you know what school you're going to, start there. So if you know you're going to be attending Arizona State University, or if that's your first choice, pay a visit to their scholarship and financial aid website. You'll get a lot of information there. The colleges now all have matching software that they use to award scholarships across all their fields of study and all the students coming in. So they're going to have a process. It's very similar to the one that I'm going to talk about later for the Doherty Foundation. That matches you to all the different awards across the university. So always start at the school that you think that you will be attending. If you have a couple of schools that are on your list, visit every website, start applying at all of them, even if you don't know if you're going to be going there yet, just so that you're aware of deadlines and any requirements to apply. You have those on your list. The next place you want to go to is the actual college within the college. So if you are going to say you want to be a teacher, you're going to be attending the College of Education at Arizona State University, you want to give a call or visit the website to the College of Education. A call is always really good because sometimes there are scholarship opportunities available at the college level, at the school level, that don't make it onto the websites or don't make it into the big matching software that maybe the dean's office might know about or the administration office might know about in the College of Education. So I was just giving them a call and saying, hey, I'm an incoming student. Are there any scholarship opportunities that you have available right now that might fit me? And you're also building a relationship and rapport with the college administration as you enter that school, and that's always a good thing. The next place, especially if you're an Arizona student, is the Arizona Community Foundation application. And this is a general application. You're going to go in, you're going to fill out all sorts of general questions about you, your name, where you went to school, where you want to go to school, and about 100 other questions that help us learn more about you. And every time you answer one of these questions, you might think it's something very small, like how you identify, male, female, non-binary, or your race, your age, all sorts of questions. All of these questions, they're going to take that information and match it up to all of the awards that they have in their system. And on the other side, after you hit submit and complete all of the information, the software program does all the work and tells you what awards you are eligible for. And for most of them, you've already been put in the pool of contention. And then there might be some others that you may need to submit a few other questions, another essay, sometimes a letter, or a proof of a certain identity, like a military ID, to complete that application. So these software programs are really helpful and beneficial because it takes some of the work out of filling out 50 different applications and puts it just into one. So the Arizona Community Foundation application is actually where the Doherty Foundation application is. So we are one of over 100 different scholarships in that system. So when you complete the application, the link is here in the middle of the page, azfoundation.academicworks. When you complete that application, you're actually applying for the Doherty Foundation scholarship. And since there's so many awards in this one particular system, they all have different deadlines throughout what we call the scholarship season, which is typically January through about June. Doherty Foundation's scholarship criteria is very broad. We award for every field of study that you can imagine. We have a 3.0 minimum GPA, and you can either attend community college or a four-year university in Arizona. There are, with the different scholarships in this application, they all have a different criteria. But the Doherty Foundation, we like to cover as many students as possible. The only other requirement is that you have some financial need, but I've yet to come across very many students that can't claim that they have some financial need. So as long as you can prove that you have unmet need, we are happy to consider you for our award. Our deadline is always the first Friday in June. That's one of the later deadlines in college processes. Typically, you're going to see other awards starting late January, February, March, and April, kind of throughout. So my best advice is apply as early as you can in January, in February, or whenever you discover the application. Apply as soon as you can and submit it. And you might be thinking, I don't know what college I'm going to. I haven't decided what my major is going to be. And we'll talk about some of those points later on in the discussion. But when you apply early, you are putting yourself in competition for the most scholarships available because they haven't started to close yet. If you wait until later in May or early June, you might only be applying for one or two scholarships at that point. So by applying in January, February, you're going to be applying for hundreds versus a couple at the later part of the season. Another place to look for great scholarship opportunities in our community are any other civic groups or organizations around town that you might know about. Your church or other churches, civic groups like the Rotary Club, the Lions Club, companies offer a lot of scholarships now as well for their employees. So where do your parents work? Does your parents' employer offer a college scholarship program that would be applicable to you? If you're going to be an engineer, look at the companies that do engineering in Arizona, do a little Google work and see if they offer scholarships for the field of study that you're going into. So I know I don't have to teach any of you about how to Google anything. You probably know how to do it better than I do. But there's good and bad things about going out on the internet and searching for, scholarships in your field of study. But it is a good exercise to do. Scholarships for whatever field you're going to be going into. So I have used teaching and engineering as examples. So if you Google those, you'll come up with a long list. Whatever major you are expecting to complete in college. Also for, other affiliations that you have as a human being. So if your race or ethnicity or other affiliations, your religion, places that you volunteered for, all of those things, people award scholarships based on so many different criteria. So out in the world, there are thousands, millions of different scholarships that you could apply. My recommendation for students doing those bigger searches out in the world is really look at the eligibility criteria, and if you fit it, apply. Even if it's a big, huge scholarship, you think maybe I don't even have a chance. COLA scholarship, it's a full ride, it's a national competition. I'll never, be able to win that. Well, you don't know until you try. And if you fit the eligibility criteria, you might as well give it a shot. If you don't fit the criteria, though, if there is something that you are missing, it's probably not the best use of your time. But there's so many out there. One thing about Googling and finding college scholarship opportunities out in the big wide web, never pay for an opportunity. If they're asking for a fee or a membership or some kind of money up front, it's probably a scam. So you don't want to be putting any money up front for applying for a scholarship. Now that's different than application fees for your colleges. That's all above board. But when you're applying for scholarships, they shouldn't be asking any money from you.
Scholarship alert, we have the Ken Smith Scholarship available for all of you to apply to. This scholarship is particularly for JAG students that have shown, extraordinary leadership as well as like community service in their communities. However, don't be alarmed by that. Again, this opportunity is for those that, again, want to be able to use this scholarship, again, for as financial need for their educational endeavors. So again, give it a shot, apply to the Ken Smith Scholarship, and check out the links we have for more details.
General application hints. They're always going to ask for an email address, and it's usually the login to their system. So use an email address that you will keep check frequently. I can't tell you how many times students use or they create a new email address just for their scholarship applications, which is fine. They don't check it very often, and I'm sending them notices and they're not responding, and they'll get back a couple of months and say, I didn't check that email address. So use an email address that you will check, because when scholarship providers come to you with money, you want to be able to respond to them pretty timely. And also use an appropriate email address. So don't use slang or derogatory terms, even if it might be a funny email address that you keep for personal use. This is a time where you probably want to use something that's more professional in nature. You never want to use a parent's email address or let your parents fill out the applications for you. Because trust me, I've been doing this a long time. We know when your parents have done it for you. So we really want you to do the work. It's really important and part of the integrity of this application system, where we're asking you to do the work to receive this money. And if you use a parent's email address and we have to start communicating with your parents, it just kind of throws off that trust system that we have with you as a student. So try not to do that if at all possible. In general, you want to log in early for any scholarships that you know you're going to be applying for. So at your college and university and the Arizona Community Foundation application, log in even if you're not completely prepared to complete the application, just to see what is going to be required of you. Typical things, transcripts are typically always requested. You might want to check and see if they're official requested or unofficial. Unofficial means that it's just something that you can print off on your own computer and copy and scan or upload to the document without it having official approval from your school. When you need official transcripts, that means you need to request them from your high school or any previous colleges, and they kind of have a stamp and they're sealed so that we know that they haven't been tampered with. So make sure you understand which kind of transcripts that you need to share with your college application, scholarship application. Letters of recommendation, although a lot of scholarship providers are moving away from requesting so many letters of recommendation, many still do. And the hardest part about this, of course, is asking your teachers and professors or coaches, mentors in the community, and then following up with those people to make sure that they submit them. Sometimes they need to be submitted, in sealed envelopes. Sometimes they can share them with you in a PDF format, and they can be uploaded to the online application. So make sure you understand the work and the time that it's going to take to get those completed and submitted on time. That's a really important thing. There are so many applications that go incomplete because of letters of recommendation. So you want to start on that very soon. And then if you need any proof of any special identity, as I mentioned before, like a military ID or proof of community service or volunteer status at a specific organization to apply, you want to make sure you get those things prepared as well. So if you log in early, you'll understand what all of the requirements are, and then you can go back and log in and complete the application when you have the things that are necessary. And then, of course, the most important thing, understand what the deadlines are and finish by the deadline so that you'll be considered and all of your hard work won't go for nothing.
Interested in learning more about the Doherty scholarship, whether it be the requirements, how to complete it, where to look for it, and also essay tips, check out the supplemental material available to learn more information.
Thank you so much to our guest from Doherty Foundation for that. Just about wraps up this week. Trinette has some closing comments, and we'll do a wheel of names. I want to do a quick spotlight though to someone that's very special and that has accomplished a lot so far. And their name is Du-Yon Nguyen, an outstanding JAG alumni about to graduate from the pharmacy school at UCLA.
Give one piece of advice, what would it be?
So if I was only given one sentence to give it to them, I would say, just go to college.
Great advice, Du-Yon. Thank you. You can read Du-Yon's full story at jagaz.org/Faces of Jag.
We can't wait to see you next time for organizational skills and a focus on Black history. Before we go, I do have a wheel of names! Woohoo! So thank you all who have completed the survey, and your names are listed here on our wheel. Are we ready?
We're ready.
On 3, 1, 2, 3. Enrique!
My name is Ms. Galvan, and I am Program Support Specialist. I'm sure you've seen me before if I came to your classroom for presentations. I am here today to let you know about student recruitment. Yay! It's time now! So, do you have a friend who has leadership potential? Do you have friends that are wanting to go to college and don't know how? Do you have friends who are currently looking for employment and they're having a challenge with job interviews? If any of those three apply, go ahead and send them to us.
It's been fantastic, guys. I really hope I can see you all again very soon. Please stay safe and have an amazing rest of your day.